Well, a little hint of fall in the air tonight as we are in Gainesville for the city matchup. Buchholz, GHS, nothing better than that, except for this guy. My partner, Shannon Snell, the All-American. I am Jeff Cardozo. This is IBEW, Local 1205, Friday Night Rivals. And Shannon, you can feel it. Obviously, we've been playing football for a little over a month, but finally that weather.
Yeah, you could feel the nice crispness in the air. We were just talking about it, and all gone is that hot weather, and we're about to see a hot matchup here on the field here tonight, Jeff.
Yeah, certainly are. No love lost, of course, and Buchholz has dominated this rivalry over the years. So is things going to change? What's GHS in store for?
It's going to be a tough matchup, and let's talk about the Sonny's barbecue recipes for success. Tonight for GHS, you got to stop Justin Williams. He is literally the most electric player this side of North Central Florida. He's one of the guys, when he gets the ball in his hands, good things happen. So they got to stop him tonight, or it's not going to be a chance. And they got to get dirty, Jeff. They're going to have to play dirty. They're going to have to run the ball. They're going to have to kind of do little things just to get under Buchholz's skin, because they got to force them to make this a dirty game and make this a dogfight in the fourth quarter. And if you're Buchholz, you got to fly, baby, fly. Air that ball out, right? You got playmakers all over the field. You got guys that can really get the ball into the end zone. You got to let them fly, and no freebies, right? We've seen a lot of penalties. Last time we saw Buchholz, they played east side, a lot of penalties on the field, all right? Kind of didn't play their game. No freebies, no free touchdowns, no free penalties.
Probably would have been an easy choice to choose Justin Williams as your IBEW player to watch for. So I'm going to make you do somebody different, but let's start with GHS.
Yeah, we'll start with GHS. We're talking about number 3, Eric Welch. He's a guy that's an athlete. He's going to play some running backs. He's going to do some wide receiver. He's got 3 touchdowns on the season. He's going to have a good game tonight to really stand a chance against these Bobcats. And you're right, I can't choose Justin Williams 2 weeks that we've covered Buchholz, so I'm choosing Andrew Whittemore. Guy, a sophomore with a big arm, son of Coach Whittemore. He's going to be a guy that really gets this offense cranking, and watch out for that big arm. He can really let it fly, Jeff.
Yeah, Andrew has gotten better and better each and every week, so excited to see what is in store tonight. Obviously excited for some Friday night football. We'll have that, starting lineups, and kickoff when we return here on My 11. Well, here's tonight's coin toss presented by Radiant Credit. You can define your financial future. In the toss, they so.
We need Ben. We need Ben. There's an issue with your camera.
Issue in mine?
Yeah. At the 35-yard line. The given to Josh Middleton. Okay, 13 on the play, on the first step.
Chase on right there, boy. Yeah, Chase on. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, son. Yeah, Chase on back there.
Stop made by Trayvon Richardson. Gain of 3 yards on the play. And second down and 7.
Hey, Darby, get down. Look at he want to duck. He don't even got it.
Timeout taken by the Bobcats. The David High School Union Gold would like to thank the following sponsors for providing the two-game meal throughout the football season. Head restaurants include O'Reilly, Five-Star Pizza, Chewy's, Sunny's Barbecue, Texas Roadhouse, and May's Southwest Store. Tonight's dinner is sponsored by McDonald's Stores. The ball is incomplete for 1 yard and recovery for the first down. 3rd down and 7. Johnson on the carry. Stop by Roach. 4th down and 2. From the 42 yard.
Their opening possessions still going. A couple of timeouts has slowed things down, allows us to bring you back. Andrew Whittemore trying to go keep it in.
Yeah, perfect time to bring it back. Brooks trying to go over top, but Whittemore trying to go over top to Brooks. And, you know, one thing you can say about GHS, they got just as many playmakers on their defense, and great pass defense right there by them. But, you know, they're going to see this a lot tonight. They're going to see some deep shots. They're going to see some kind of those intermediate shots. So they're going to have to tackle if they catch the ball. But also they're going to play great pass defense like they just did right there, Joe.
Pass is complete to AJ Norris. Out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Penalty marker on the field. Penalty against the Bobcats. That's it in 35-yard line. Whittemore pass complete for first down. Again, it's 23 yards on the play. It's first and 10 at the Gainesville 12-yard line. Whittemore pass complete to Justin Williams from 12 yards out for a touchdown. The kickoff is into the end zone for a touchdown. First down Kings at the 20-yard line. Against Gainesville, first down and 15. Again, on first down, on the line of the second down and 13. On second down,
You're good, you're good.
Flag on the play. 5-yard penalty against the Hurricanes for the win. The Kings needed 18, and they got 17 and a half, putting up fourth down and less than a yard. The ball has crossed the 30-yard line, but that will be a Hurricane first down.
season.
How are you tonight?
You're fine. Good. How are you? I'm sorry.
Keeping on the play, the quarterback, Jason Jenkins. And on the stop for Bobcats for Lyndon Whitty, along with Shepard. Loss of 3, second down and 13. The play game is live, bringing up 4th down and 5 from the Bobcat 42.
I forgot y'all can hear me, my bad.
Jason Stanford carries for the opponent first down, but there are penalty markers on the play. The 10-yard penalty, One back by Williams is nullified by the penalty. The ball captain moving back to the 20-yard line.
Yep.
And it will be first down Bobcats.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, it's evident all over town. You know, bank on October 1st, and all the tellers were wearing the pink as well. Real men wear pink, Shannon. Here's a handoff right up the gut. That's Chris Johnson. He'll get a crack, the senior running back, with some positive yardage, about 5 there on first down.
First down carry for Bobcats. That's 6 yards.
Yeah.
For Johnson. 7 down 2.
Four receivers for Whittemore this time, with Johnson in the backfield. Whittemore, a quick little toss to the outside. He's got his man, and that is Williams, who will get out of bounds after another first down.
First down Williams with the reception. For the Bobcats first down. Williams is out of bounds at the Buchholz 32-yard line.
And you can definitely see a difference from Whittemore from the last time we saw him. Just looks much more confident back there, understanding the offense. He has certainly grown up very quickly here. Johnson in the backfield again. Whittemore in the pocket. He'll fire one down the right side, and that's an in and out of the hands of both number 12s. Marquell Brooks got a hand on it as a receiver, and Josh McClellan broke it up as the DB.
No, you can go now.
Well, fans, we'd like to take a moment tonight, thank the fine folks at Sonny's Barbecue for feeding our Friday Night Rivals crew. Sonny's, we are barbecue. And another great meal tonight, the first ever Sonny's, the original, just up the road here from Citizens Field, about a mile north on Waldo Road. We had some ribs, some slaw, and some awesome baked beans with bacon inside of them tonight. Can't beat that. All right, Whittemore back to pass again, a little shorter this time, and he has Brooks. And that was a great job. Quick little turnaround at the marker, caught it immediately upfield, and it's another first down here for Buchholz, a GFL first down. Green today, green for life. Buchholz now with some tempo. They'll hurry things up a little bit. Whittemore trying to get GHS to jump. They do a good job of staying put. One of those former Gators that Shannon was talking about on the sideline on the Buchholz side, that is Travis McGriff. He is the offensive coordinator here at Buchholz. Whittemore's got his man over the middle. That's Williams. That's another first down, and Williams breaking a couple of tackles. We're finally going down at the 35-yard line, a gain of about 20 on the play. And you can certainly see the confidence of Whittemore here. Well, fans, time to raise the roof with Mission Metals. Mission Metals, your trusted hometown metal roofing and metal building supplier right here on Friday Night Rivals. We've got another timeout. This time GHS calls it, trying to slow down the tempo as Buchholz has just decided to move the ball down the field here. There you see Mark Whittemore has done a fantastic job. Several trips to the Final Four over the last few years. Long line of success. Whittemore's been a part of Buchholz High School for nearly 30 years. Been the head coach for more than a decade. And a lot of wins to that resume. And if you're wondering why you're not hearing my partner, he is, I talk so good about Sonny's and those ribs, he's decided to just make a way down in the stands and start eating them. So we'll try to get Shannon back up here as quickly as possible. So Buchholz back on the ball. Trips receivers to the left. Williams will be the lone receiver, short side of the field. Johnson still in the backfield, but it's been a lot of throwing this possession. They'll give it to Johnson. He'll make a couple of moves. And around the right side for a gain of about 4 there on first down. You know, one of the things that's always special, you know, you get just great people around here, and there's some great people on the chain gang tonight. They had somebody missing from the chain gang, so what did they do? Well, guess what? They asked the crowd over the PA if anybody wanted to be a part of the chain gang tonight, and we're getting to see that. Here's a quick little hitter over to Avery Norris, and look at Norris go, weaving in and out of traffic. He's inside the 10-yard line. And Buchholz in the Call-A Mattress red zone. Call-A Mattress deals so hot, they built a fire station across the street. And it's just weapon after weapon after weapon for this Buchholz offense. And a great drive with tempo. So it'll be Norris and Williams to Whittemore's left. Whittemore will look out that way. They'll get it to Williams, and he looks like he may have dropped the football after the catch. And they're going to call it GHS ball. So how about that? A turnover there right before Williams got out of bounds. Now the referees are going to talk it over. And we'll see if we can catch it on the replay. Williams with a catch, immediately drops it. Ball's just laying there, and the GHS defender came over and got it. Williams got wrapped up like a pretzel there, too. I'm not sure if it's really even a catch. I think that's the question, is he never really possessed it long enough, but they don't have the luxury of replay like we do, so that'll be a turnover there and a big defensive stop there for GHS. So GHS will take back over. And Ja'Shawn Sanford will hustle onto the field. His second drive, and we're going to get another timeout. Got a slew of those tonight as both teams trying to figure out what's going on. And Ian Scott will use another one as rain starts to fall now here at Citizens Field. Just a light mist. With still a minute and 5 seconds left here in quarter number 1. Both bands here tonight. Doing a tremendous job. GHS technically the home team tonight, so they got to play the national anthem before the game. Great rendition. Great traditions by both of these schools. And underneath us, on the Buchholz side, not a seat to be found. Great support. Some of the umbrellas are coming up. And if you remember from this game a year ago, we had to stop it before halftime as it just absolutely monsooned and playing conditions weren't good enough. Here's a quick little hitter out to the left side. Good play on first down. Another catch for Anthony Jenkins. He's been very busy here in the early going. And the sophomore hauls it in after a gain of about 5 there on first down. So the passing game doing some really good things here in the early going for GHS. And after the first 2 plays where Evan Walker just completely stuffed the GHS run, they have really decided to go away from that. And they have found some success in that passing game. Jenkins will come wide to the right this time. Sanford will look out his way. He's dancing around as he gets chased down, trying to find a receiver, and that ball's going to be caught. Eric Welch right there on the sideline, and another really good throw on the run by Ja'Shawn Sanford. Senior quarterback has been very impressive here tonight. Shannon talked a lot about Welch in the opener and told you that is that dynamic player on this GHS offense, and you could see it right there. Buchholz is going to have to do a better job of finding these guys during the scramble rule. There's a lot of guys running open, getting lost in the melee. So 8 seconds to go here in quarter number 1. Again, we're still trying to work on Shannon's mic, get that going. I know all of you out there missing the voice, so we don't want any angry tweets. This would be more, you can find Shannon on TikTok though. He's big all over TikTok, dances, different things he's got going on. All right, clock gets wound again. 8 seconds to go. Sanford's going to roll out to his left, trying to avoid a pass rush, and he'll just get rid of it. Leaving 1 second to go on the clock.
It's very staticky. I can't hear anybody.
Good job there by Sanford. He ran backwards about 20 yards, and outside the tackle box, he's able to get rid of it. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. This will be the last play of quarter number 1, where Buchholz leads at 7-0.
Not really.
Here in the city rivalry game. Jenkins in the backfield. He'll get the football, and he will not go far with it. Devin Attelig, big D lineman, in there on the stop. And that's going to do it for quarter number 1. And here's the lone score so far. Great job by Andrew Minimore, our Parks Group of Gainesville score summary. Local roots, community pride, legendary rides. And the legend has already been formed, but Justin Williams keeps adding to that legendary. And that's not even a word. That's how good Justin Williams is. He's responsible for the 7-0 Buchholz lead. We'll take a timeout, and we'll start quarter number 2 as the rain continues to come down here at Citizens Field tonight. You are watching IBEW Local 1205 Friday Night Rivals. We welcome you back to IBEW Local 1205 Friday Night Rivals, presented by Radiant Credit Union. Alongside Shannon Snell, Jeff Cardozo here with you. Buchholz a 7-0 lead as we get ready to start the second quarter. Big turnover by Buchholz as given GHS the ball back. here in quarter number 2. Quick give to Welch, but he can't get around the corner. And we'll lose the 30 yards on the play, so that's going to make it 4th down.
And then do you have a plastic bag she just gave you or no?
So we'll see another punt, and we'll see if this time they choose to kick it in Justin Williams' direction.
Try to keep this dry in case you have to wipe your lens.
Yeah, thank you.
And then you should.
They'll bring in Calvin Comstock. Now, he is the backup quarterback, just a freshman.
I can't hear a thing.
Senior quarterback, Ja'Shawn Sanford, picked it the first time. So Comstock will get it. Very shallow punt. Williams will just let it hit, and it will take a Buchholz bounce. So not a big punt at all. Just barely past the yard to gain for the first down, and Buchholz will be in a very nice spot here at the GHS 37-yard line. And this is where they'll take over for the 3rd time tonight.
I can't hear I can't hear any calls still.
Couple of receivers to the left. That is Brooks and Williams.
Okay, so then I'll go restart one.
Whittemore will give it to the running back. And look at Menifee go all the way through the GHS line and inside the 15-yard line. So Josh Menifee, as they alternate series, Johnson got last series, Menifee back to this one after getting the first one, showing some savvy, weaving in and out of traffic, some really tough yards, breaking several tackles before finally being brought down. Menifee will get the ball again, and this time a much better job as some flags go flying by that GHS defensive line. Well, the penalty is actually going to be on GHS. There you see Ian Scott wearing the pink tonight. The record doesn't necessarily show it, but Ian has done a tremendous job of coming in, changing the culture at GHS. Getting more and more kids to come out for the football squad, getting into the weight room. And if you know Ian, he's going to produce some really fine just students. And the athlete side is certainly a part of it, but Ian, an incredible individual. All right, Menifee in the backfield again. Whittemore is going to zing it out to the left side, and there's going to be some flags. That was Markel Brooks again, just being pulled down. So back-to-back penalties. And Buchholz inside the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal at the 4. Brooks and Williams again to the left. And Menifee remains in the backfield. Whittemore looking left again. They'll try the same thing, and this time it is complete. Nope, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Brooks. It looks like he went up and got it at the high point. And there you see him go up and can't hang on. So now 2nd and goal. Brooks and Williams again out wide left. Menifee will get it. Huge hole that he runs right through all the way into the end zone. Great job by that Buchholz offensive line. Shannon could have run through that thing. And just like that, Buchholz into the end zone once again. It's 13-0 Bobcats. So Ginta will try the extra point again. And there you see that big hole. Nicholas Sipple, the junior offensive lineman, was the main reason that hole was opened up. So Ginta boots it up and through with that big, strong leg, and Buchholz with a 14-0 lead just a couple of minutes here into quarter number 2. So good stop by the defense, allows the punt to happen. Not so good of a punt. Buchholz gets great field position and marches 37 yards down into the end zone. Well, fans are in the fourth quarter of the game tonight. We'll be selecting our IBEW Local 1205's Player of the Game, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 1205, powering a brighter future. Ginta, ready for another Sky Frog Tree Service kickoff. Sky Frog, stay motivated. Ginta puts that strong leg into it, and that will be another one through the end zone. So GHS will over just under 10 minutes to go until halftime. Buchholz a much better job defensively of corralling Jay-Sean Sanford. He's done a really good job of running around and finding some open receivers down the field tonight. And there you see on Fridays, we wear pink. The students for both of these schools do such a great job during the week. Pep rallies, different things that are going on, decorating, signs. The participation is awesome to see. All right, Stanford will hand it off this time and no room to run whatsoever. And no gain on the play for Dwight Jenkins. Jenkins has not had any room to run at all tonight. Every time they tried to run him, though, is right behind the center and guard. So maybe trying to get him outside would do a little something different. Welsh coming out to the right. Sanford running to the right, and he's going to be brought down. Nice job. Out there, came off of his coverage. That was Cameron Burst, the sophomore. And that's what a tackle is supposed to look like, very textbook. So back-to-back plays of no gain. That'll make it 3rd and 10 once again for Buchholz. Welsh comes off the field for 3rd down. Sanford looking out to the left, and that one is going to be incomplete right through the hands of the intended receiver, Keyshawn Chapman, the junior wide receiver, and that Buchholz defense holds once again. 3 plays, no yards for the Purple Hurricane offense. And Buchholz will get great field position once again as Justin Williams will put his tippy toes on the GHS 45-yard line. Sanford back to punt again. He hit the first one that Williams ended up returning for a touchdown, but it was brought back on a holding call on the play. Here comes the Bobcats, and they got a piece of it. So that ball's not going to do much. It'll flutter inside the 30-yard line. And Buchholz will have excellent field position, 28-yard line, after getting the ball at the 37 on the last possession and going into scoring. Already up 14-0. Here's a quick throw. Speaking of Williams, right down the seam and all the way into the end zone. Williams just shed the tackle like it was nothing. He just threw Washington right off of him. And Andrew Whittemore throws a dart to big old number 13. And for the second time tonight, Williams is in the end zone. And that is a Radiant Credit Union touchdown. Radiant Credit Union, define your financial future. Well, we've seen Whittemore a couple of times now throw it right down the gut. And he overthrew the first one of the game and then really settled down and just a dart. You can see how great his arm is and how comfortable he's becoming with this offense. Ginta boots it right through. And the good field position only took one play for Buchholz to get into the end zone. We'll take a timeout. Bobcats now lead it 21-0. And we still have 8 minutes to go until halftime tonight here at Citizens Field. It's your local IBEW 1205 Friday Night Rivals here on My 11. Well, fans, stay tuned for the Pavlov halftime report. We'll have this week's Parks Motor Group of Gainesville's scholar athletes. Parks Motor Group, local roots, community pride, legendary rides. We'll also talk with tonight's participating school administrators, plus Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals. Highlights from all over the country, all coming up on our Pavlov Media halftime report. Pavlov, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet in Gainesville. Jeff Cardozo here with you. Shannon Snell right beside me, but we're having some technical issues tonight with his microphone, so hopefully we'll get those back and you can hear the sweet sounds of Shannon. Jake Ginta set to kick it off once again, puts that strong right leg into it. But this time it turns to the left, and that's going to be out of bounds, so a mistake there by Ginta, and better starting field position now for GHS. So that'll move it 15 yards further than the last couple of times where GHS has started. They're out at their own 35-yard line. So a win already for this GHS offense that hasn't been able to do much. A couple of straight 3-and-outs. And we'll see if they can find some success again like they did in the early going of this game here tonight. Sanford gets it out quickly. And he'll get that over to Eric Welch, but no yard on the play. All right, looks like we got Shannon back. I missed you, man.
I went down to Sunday.
I don't blame you.
I mean, you were talking about ribs. It looks like.
Yeah, Buchholz has certainly done a good job. But it's really been led by that defense. A couple of stops and some great starting field position. Buchholz hasn't had to march down the field a ton, so we'll see if GHS can get it going. Another play with no yards gained. Well, I think Sanford might have an earpiece and heard you talking about the ribs because he was thinking about it and took too long on offense. So a delay of game penalty now by GHS. That'll back them up 5 yards. Sanford rolling to the right again, and he'll flip it out to his receiver. That'll be caught. That's Jamari Hines, who will get out of bounds. Gain of about 4 on the play. Well, everybody moved except for the center on that one. We've seen that a couple of times tonight. So that'll be a false start against GHS. So the 5 yards they just got, back the other way. And that'll make it 3rd and 15.
But that's what he wants. It doesn't matter what I want.
It's like Buchholz will only rush 3. Play coverage here on 3rd and 15. Sanford running around, trying to get to the outside. He'll flip it down the field, and that one is into the first row. Souvenir for someone sitting behind the GHS bench. So Justin Williams set to return another punt if he gets the opportunity. Sanford will go back. Buchholz got a piece of the last one. And they're coming again. And they've got this one again. That one is blocked, and that'll be recovered by Evan Amar, the senior linebacker at the 1 yard line, just missing getting into the end zone, but he got through everybody. Or excuse me, that's going to be Virgil Lee on the block, number 41. And how about that? A freshman, Shannon, getting the block punt against the crosstown rival. That is something that he will remember for a really long time. And too bad there's no school tomorrow, because he would be the big man on campus strolling around Buchholz High School. Well, and he's got to be a great player. They only give number 41 to great athletes. You can ask me what number I wore back in the day. Well, fans during the fourth quarter of the game tonight will be highlighting our school bus stop of the game. The law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. So great field position again here for Buchholz. They'll have Chris Johnson as they continue to alternate running backs each and every series. So Johnson will get the honors here, and we'll see if he gets the ball just a couple of yards away from the end zone. Whittemore in the shotgun. He'll give it to Johnson, and just like that, he makes his way into the end zone. Buchholz offensive line once again pushing people around. That was Brady Botman, the senior offensive tackle. And Shannon, they're out there chest bumping now. Those offensive linemen, that's a lot of beef to be putting together. So another Radian Credit Union touchdown to define your financial future. Ginta puts it through, and it's 28-0 now Bobcats. Well, you see how big that offensive line there. Michael Edwards, the senior. You got Anthony Barr, another senior. This is a really older offensive line, and certainly something like that can take you a long way into the postseason. So now time for another Skyfrog Tree Service kickoff. Skyfrog, stay motivated. Ginta set to kick it off again. 28-0. And remember, Buchholz was going in for a score and fumbled at the 5-yard line, or it could be even more. Ginta will keep this one in play. And that will roll through the end zone. So another touchback, and GHS will take over at the 20-yard line. Man, they're bringing out some of the retro stuff on the sidelines. I don't know if you saw that, Shannon, but a couple of guys on the sideline. One was wearing an Ed Hardy T-shirt. Used to sport those in the early 2000s, didn't you? Well, and, you know, something really cool too. If especially here locally, we're talking about Buchholz and GHS. It is the 60th anniversary of Gatorade this weekend, and they'll be doing a lot of things at the Swamp tomorrow when Texas rolls into town. For those that don't know, Dr. Cade actually was a part of the University of Texas as well. So merging both of those schools, the guy that helped invent Gatorade here in Gainesville. So a lot of fun stuff happening on Saturday. All right, here's a toss deep down the sideline, and that ball's going to be caught. That's Eric Welch. Stops on a dime, does his Ike Hilliard impersonation, and then gets out of bounds. One, how about the catch, and then how about the moves after? So big play. GHS certainly needed that, and that completely flips the field. And for the first time tonight, they are in the Call a Mattress red zone. Call a Mattress, deals so hot, they built a fire station across the street. Got a big package in here now, and they're going to hand it off to Sam Warren, but that's not going to matter. Quickly in there is Amir Shepard from his D-line spot, and that's going to be a loss of a couple there on first down. And GHS just hasn't been able to run the ball at all tonight.
No, they haven't. I mean, and that's been the problem, is that you kind of depended a lot on Josiah Sanford trying to get out, trying to roll outside the pocket. We saw the big long one to Eric Welch there. But other than that, Jeff, I mean, it's been pretty stout defense by Buchholz and GHS, which has always prided themselves on running the football and trying to open up for play-action pass, has not been able to do it here tonight.
So Dwight Jenkins back in the game. He's the tailback for GHS. He'll get the ball this time, and he'll lose the ball. And it looked like a GHS offensive lineman fell on it. Now it's the tight end, Nariah Washington, able to get on there quickly.
And that's the thing. The good thing about what Buchholz is doing is they're stopping, and they're really holding well at the point of attack by those big defensive tackles. And everybody's playing their run lanes, right? It's hold the offensive lineman up, shed the block, and make the tackle. Really, really sound defense by Buchholz.
Got the couple back that they lost on first down, so that'll make it 3rd and 10. Sanford has 2 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. He'll roll out to the right, trying to elude coverage, flips it out towards the end zone, but it's over everybody. And it'll be 4th down.
I mean, legitimately, this is 4-down territory. You can't really say, kicking a field goal is going to help you a ton here, right? You haven't yet to really slow down this Buchholz offense, other than the Justin Williams fumble there in that beginning of the second quarter. So you got to be able to maybe do something. I'm sorry, the first quarter. So you got to be able to try to. Oh, and maybe they're going to kick it. They're going to try to get points on the board. But be aware, Jeff. We saw this happen earlier where they blocked the punt, and you can see Buchholz has the ability to jump over center, has the ability to slip through some of these cracks and get their hands on these balls.
Boris Guardado, the lefty, will attempt a 31-yard field goal, and he gets it up, and it is no good, wide right. So GHS trying to avoid the shutout. Guardado had enough leg, just pulled it.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight's 20/20, right? You're down 4 scores. You would hope they would have maybe gone for that, or maybe given their offense a shot at that end zone, but sure enough, they didn't.
Oh, time to raise the roof with Mission Metals. Mission Metals, your trusted hometown metal roofing and metal building supplier, right here on Friday Night Rivals. So for the first time in a long time, Shannon, not good field position. We'll see if Buchholz can go the length of the field. We'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well,
and this is the bad news, is that this is a quick strike offense. I mean, they have 4 minutes and 15 seconds, and this is the 4-minute offense that you hear talked about in football, is that you're kind of moving brisk, right? But you want to take pretty much all the time off the clock, and you want to make sure that GHS doesn't necessarily get the ball back in their hands in this half.
Whittemore will fake the handoff. Looking out to the left, and that ball is almost intercepted. Threw that into double coverage.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the best move right there, right? That was a cover 2. That safety was playing right over top, and sure enough, he just kind of chucked it up and tried to throw almost like throw it to the corner on that streak route, and almost got it picked off.
Really the first poor decision we've seen from Whittemore tonight. Throwing a couple of touchdowns to Justin Williams. He'll hand the ball off. Great blocking by that offensive line.
Beautiful block.
Johnson hasn't even been touched, crossing midfield before finally being shoved out of bounds. He was 20 yards down the field before there was even a purple jersey in sight.
That was unreal blocking, Jeff. I think we both saw the same thing, able to lead around on almost like a power, and sure enough, that offensive line on that right side, it was probably the best block play that we've seen here tonight, and it was beautiful how that came around, and you're going to see it here. Offensive line leading around that corner, hat on a hat. And, sure enough, even a receiver able to get his hat on somebody. You see number 1, Chris Johnson, able to get right up that right sideline, has the speed to turn it on. I'm surprised he didn't take that to the house.
Yeah, good job by Markel Brooks. The wide receiver out there blocking as well, and that's what forces a lot of big runs.
And we talk about a quick strike offense, and they do it in the run game just as well, Jeff.
Whittemore will fake the handoff this time. Looking down the seam again, and he has the aforementioned Markel Brooks. And inside the 10-yard line, just like that, they haven't even taken a minute to get about 75 yards down the field.
I was talking about 4-minute offense. Maybe they listen a little bit. I mean, slow it down, fellas. But we're talking about this. First of all, you got to be impressed by what Whittemore's doing. Look at the bullet that he threw going across the middle. I mean, to put that accurately, I mean, it takes some true guts to throw that ball in the middle of all that traffic and to put it where he's putting it with that kind of velocity and not get it picked off. It's pretty impressive.
Ashton Norris, the H-back now. 4 receivers for Whittemore. See which way he chooses to look. It's out to the left. They're going for Williams. Jump ball again, and did he come down with it?
He got that. Oh, it's an interception.
Wow. No.
What?
Williams is saying he's got it. He thinks it's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown.
So some confusion here by the referees. Williams is celebrating like he's scored, but that was certainly a signal that was not a touchdown. And let's catch the replay here. Williams goes up. He makes the catch.
There's no way that's an interception.
No, Williams had that ball the entire time.
That's not possible.
So, and they're going to call it a touchback. So an interception.
What? Okay.
No way.
Yeah, we're going to watch this again, and Justin Williams has both arms on it, and the receiver, he's only got like kind of an arm like hanging in the middle. That's a touchdown.
I mean, Williams went up and got it. Came down both hands.
Both hands on the ball.
And you've got the GHS defender doesn't even have a hand involved.
No, his hand's not even on the ball.
And the referee's right there staring at it.
Like, how do you call that?
Wow.
Okay.
So the second turnover tonight for Buchholz inside their 5-yard line.
They're gonna look back at that one. There's no possible way that you can call that. You call it incomplete, that he's out of bounds. Call it something else, but there's no way you can call that an interception.
No, especially, I mean, if you're going to call it was wrestled away from Williams on the ground, both players' backs are laying out of bounds.
Yeah.
Outside of the end zone.
Simultaneous possession goes to the offense.
Sanford's got a wide open receiver, and he's going to complete it. That's Welch again, and he's going to get all the way out to midfield. So, again, the Buchholz defense has just lost a purple jersey running around.
Yeah, and that's the last. Eric Welch is the last person you need to be losing out there, right? He's their playmaker. So, hey, all eyes need to be on him when the scramble drill happens. But kind of a wild sequence of plays that have happened here over the last minutes between the non-call and the touchdown to an interception and the big play to Welch.
So for the second straight week, we're going to see a ball right on the 50, which is something you hardly ever see.
Bingo.
Sanford will fake. He's trying to go deep again. One-on-one coverage out there, and a flag is going to be thrown. So the guy that was looking straight at the coverage doesn't throw the flag, and the guy that's 25 yards away throws the flag.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. I don't even know what to tell you. It didn't really look like pass interference there, right? I think Welch was trying to come back to that ball and trying to. And you got to feel if you're Buchholz, you got to feel a little frustration by the sequence of events that have happened here the last couple of minutes. You know, and not going to say referees they make every call correctly, right? I mean, they miss some calls here and there, but the last couple have been very questionable, very Snickers-like, if you will.
Well, big shout out to Tucker Chiropractic using the activator instrument so they don't twist and crack your back. GHS right back to the line of scrimmage. And Sanford will hand it off and still nowhere to go. couple of Buchholz defenders right there. Caleb Young and Matthew Johnson. A couple of linebackers in there on the tackle.
At some point, you're going to have to do something, maybe run a reverse or get something around the edge, because running in the teeth of that Buchholz defense hasn't been a really good idea tonight. They pretty much shut everything down. Even at this point, you got about 2 minutes left. I mean, your best play has been chucking the ball up to number 3 down there, Eric Welch. Why not chuck one to the end zone? You got the arm to get it there. Just throw it up to him and let him go get a 50-50 ball.
And a big possession here for GHS. If they can score, they get the ball to start off the second half, get a chance to score again, and cut this lead in half before Buchholz can even touch it again. Here's Sanford trying to go deep again, and both the defender and receiver jumped a little too early.
I mean, this has been kind of a fast and furious, last part of this second quarter. But here we go. Here's that long ball. Now, I think this is a great play, Jeff. I mean, he has the ability to kind of hang it up there a little bit, and his receivers are coming back to it, enforcing pass interference, coming back for some big catches. So I think they could have something here. I think that could be something that obviously Coach Mark Whittemore is going to coach up at halftime, but you have an opportunity here to maybe get a big play with it again.
Yeah, they've attacked it a bunch. And, more often than not, you get that one-on-one coverage, you might as well attack it, because probably 2 out of 3 good things can happen for the offense, a catch or pass interference, as opposed to just an interception. Here's Sanford rolling to the right again, and he'll overshoot his receiver. And that's going to make it 4th down. So interesting to see what GHS does here. Still a minute and a half to go, and we see how quickly Buchholz can get down the field. They could get another crack at it.
Yeah, they could. I mean, you got a minute and 30 left here. Looks like GHS is going to go for this. So, I mean, they don't make this first down. You give it to Buchholz with almost midfield. I mean, we saw that it only took them about a minute to get down the field, get 75 yards down the field.
Buchholz does have all 3 timeouts to go, so it's not like GHS can just run it here. Buchholz would then stop the clock. And it would stop on the turnover on downs anyway, and Sanford's not going anywhere. Good pursuit once again. Amir Shepard got in there, and that'll be a loss of yardage on the play, and it doesn't look like Sanford is able to get up. Maybe just a cramp, the way that he's acting. And you've got that great UF Health athletic training staff. They've got athletic trainers in both of these high schools here tonight.
Yeah, you're right. It does look like a cramp. He's been running around there all night long. A cool night out here, as we talked about, and not a stop. But when you're running as much as he has been, and you got Buchholz defenders chasing you all up the wazoo, you might cramp up just a little bit. Well, I guess here's what the problem that exists if you're GHS is that now you get the best part of Buchholz, right? You get to see their full 2-minute offense go on thing. And if you thought they moved fast before, they should wait till they see this, because you're now down 4 scores. You had 2 opportunities to go in and put together at least a couple scoring drives, right? You had a missed field goal. You had 2 drives that went down on 4th down. So the best thing that they can do at this point, Jeff, is to try. Make every attempt not to hold this score at 28-0 to go into the half. Because going down 5 scores is almost impossible to come back from against a really good football team such as Buchholz is.
And it does trigger then a running clock as well in that second half if Buchholz is able to get into the end zone here before the half. Buchholz has not been stopped tonight. They have not had to punt.
Well, I guess we thought this was a cramp, but it may look a little bit more serious than that. I mean, he's been down that field for the last few minutes.
Yeah, you've got the Buchholz athletic trainer making his way out to the field now. Well, again, I want to remind you to stay tuned for the Pavlov halftime report. We'll have this week's Park Motor Group of Gainesville Scholar Athletes. Parks Motor Group, local roots, community pride, legendary rides. We'll also talk with tonight's participating school administrators, plus Thursday night lights and Friday night rival highlights from all across the country. All coming up in our Pavlov Media halftime report. Pavlov, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet in Gainesville. And there you see Jay-Sean Stanford having to be carried off the field. So certainly not good news there.
I mean, is that cramps? I mean, because they're carrying him over there like, Let's take a look at it here. I mean, able to kind of take off and. You can see him wincing right there, just like, I don't know if somebody jumped on him, somebody landed on his legs. He took a shot right there he kind of tripped over, but, hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it is cramps and he just needs to get some IV medicine, some IV juice in him.
So Buchholz taking over, Whittemore back to pass, and he'll overshoot Andrew DeFuso. Tight end, another senior here on this Buchholz crew. First attempt towards DeFusco's way tonight.
And, the one thing you can listen, Whittemore's been pretty good tonight, right? We've seen some nice darts over the middle, but can pull that ball down a little bit, right? We've seen a couple of high throws that could get himself into trouble here moving forward if he keeps putting them up there.
Quick little hitter to the outside. That is Brooks. Tippy toes as they cross midfield, gain of about 9 on the play. Good safe play, and that'll stop the clock with 1:13 to go here in the first half.
I guess the reminder is he's only a sophomore, Jeff. Hasn't played a lot of football. Hasn't gotten to the point where, he's taken so many reps that he's seen a bunch of game time and all that other stuff. Like his first year starting. Listen, if this is the sophomore, if this is the starting ground, the sky's the limit for this young man.
Looks like they'll do the same exact play, and it'll work again. Markel Brooks with the catch, and the chains are moving.
I'm impressed with his arm strength. I mean, listen, if he chucks that ball, I wonder really how far he can throw it. Right, if they gave him the opportunity, he definitely can let that thing rip.
Yeah, we saw him flip it 40 yards like it was nothing earlier in the game. So Buchholz has only eaten up about 20 seconds here on the drive. Whittemore fakes the handoff, looking down the right side again. They tried for DeFusco, and that one is broken up. Good play by the Devarian Howard, the senior.
Yeah, Howard playing a cover 2 shell right there. Dropped back about 5-6 yards and just played that underneath. Got his hands on it, could have picked that off, and could have been going back in the opposite direction.
Yeah, Whittemore trying to slip that into there to the tight end. So they've run the same play a couple of times to the right side of the field. No action over to the left. That's where Justin Williams is. Also, Avery Norris to the wide side. They'll look out that way, and this one is going to be picked off. Zaire Francis stepped right in front of the intended receiver, and that is back-to-back possessions now where GHS has forced a turnover.
We'll put that in bunny quotes, forced a turnover, right? Because that first one was questionable, but this one was a great pick. Able to step right in front of it and cut that off. And Whittemore stared those seams down. He stared it right down the middle, read his eyes right there, able to kind of step in front of it and get his hands on it and pick it off for a really big turnover.
31 seconds to go now until halftime.
Yeah, Francis right there, just unbelievable pick. I mean, able to kind of stop the bleeding, if you will, here in the second quarter and take these boys in with a little bit of momentum.
Well, and it looked like Jay-Sean Stanford was trying to limp his way onto the field, but they're going to run out the freshman backup quarterback. It's Calvin Comstock, who we have seen tonight. He went in there for a punt, and GHS was lined up.
That would probably make me a little nervous. It's my first freshman snap. One of my first snaps against a Buchholz defense coming down your neck. 30 seconds left in the second quarter. The score of a game, you're down 4 scores. Not ideal for you. Coach put me in a better situation.
So there you see Comstock. He'll line up in the shotgun, take the handoff, and he'll just chuck one deep and about 5 yards over the head of Eric Welch, the intended receiver.
I mean, and here's the thing is Buchholz is very content on going one-on-one coverage. They don't have those safeties deep, right? And we talked about what they've been doing in the run game is because they got the safeties in the box. And, you know, Welch has burned them one time. So if they can get the ball to him, give him a 50-50 ball or give him an opportunity, could turn out to be a big play.
Boy, this is the longest second quarter, man. It's taken an hour.
Comstock will hand it off this time. Best running play of the night as Dwight Jenkins gets through, but there's another flag, and looks like it might be a face mask.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. It looked like a hand went up into the face mask, and this is going to look like it's going to be a 15-yard variety.
And don't forget, at halftime, we'll have the third member of our team, Randy Reinhardt, down there doing his thing. Haven't got to hear much from Randy tonight with some of our audio issues, but I know the ladies, we've been getting the tweets, are craving Randy for halftime, and we'll bring you that very, very shortly when 17 more seconds tick off the clock. So the clock is winding, now down to 10. We'll have one more snap. And it's another handoff. Stopped very quickly by that Buchholz defense. Evan Walker again, Amaris Bryant in on the stop, and that'll do it for half number one. A half dominated by the Buchholz Bobcats tonight. They are the away team, and they lead it 28-0. And finally, we get that opportunity to head down to the sidelines and talk to Randy.
Coach, let's talk about the first half. Staccato at times, but up by 4 touchdowns. How do you feel about your team's performance?
Well, anytime you're up by 4 TDs, that's nice. We were awfully kind of there inside the 10 a little too much, you know. Some of our decision making, you know, we want to be able to take some chances, but we also want to be up 35-0. So if that answers your question. You know, 2 picks, not what we want. That's okay.
Coach, best of luck in the second half.
Appreciate you.
Jeff, what a wild ride in the first half. Back upstairs to you.
All right, Randy, thank you very much. So, Mark Whittemore's Buchholz Bobcats lead it 28-0. GHS will get the ball to start the second half. But before all that happens, we'll have our Pavlov halftime report here on Friday Night Rivals.
Parks Motor Group of Gainesville is proud to present the Scholar Athlete of the Week. Daryl Godbold of Buchholz High School has played football all 4 years of high school. For the past 2 years, Daryl has been a starter on the Buchholz varsity football team. Daryl is also an active member of his school's varsity wrestling team. At the state wrestling tournament, he came in 6th in the 285-pound weight class. Daryl has a 3.67 grade point average and takes honors and advanced placement courses. He gives back to his community by volunteering at a local youth wrestling club. This All-Star is now entered for a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Congratulations to the Parks Motor Group of Gainesville Scholar Athlete of the Week, Daryl Godbold.
On behalf of Parks Motor Group of Gainesville, congratulations on all of your hard work.
Thank you. God bless.
And welcome back to the Pavlov Media Halftime Report. At the break, 28-0. Buchholz on top in this one. And I'm proud at halftime to be joined by the principal here at Buchholz High School, the one and only Kevin Purvis. And Kevin, how are you tonight?
Oh, we're doing great. It's beautiful weather. Our stands are packed. Our student section's going great. Our band is fixing to kick off the halftime. It's what you're looking for in high school.
And the other thing that's going well for you guys right now is student engagement. Is it not? Touch on that for a second.
Yeah, after, COVID, it just kind of, it was lacking. And so we made it a priority this year. My student activities director, Miss Bowers, and our teachers. And so last week was homecoming. It's been incredible. This year we served pizza to our student section here this game. And that's what we're looking for, to get them involved and really celebrate their school.
And I know somebody who has been involved in many items joins us now as well, too, Kaylin Bonham. Tell me a bit about her before we talk to her. What has she been part of?
So Kaylin is just an exemplary student, involved in lots of things, our DECA, Academy of Entrepreneurship. Kaylin sits on our school advisory council as well. I roped her in with her mom, so she's just the epitome of a Bobcat for us.
Kaylin, what does all this involvement mean to you?
It means everything. I'm so excited to be a part of the Bobcat Nation. It's amazing.
What are your plans after high school?
Definitely college. Somewhere in Florida for sure.
Now, I'm going to make you coach Kaylin here at halftime. Your team is up 28-0. What do you tell them at halftime, Coach?
Come on, guys. Pick it up. I mean, there's not much more for us to do.
It's like getting an A+, isn't it?
Yep, for sure.
Kevin, thanks so much for your time here at halftime.
Thank you, and we appreciate y'all coming to do the video and the live streaming of our game and our kids and our staff.
And where's the pizza?
The pizza's all gone. Took about 2 minutes to get rid of 26 pizzas.
All right, no pizza right now, but more of the Pavlov Media halftime report just around the corner. 28-0. Buchholz on top. You are watching Friday Night Rivals right here in one place on My 11.
Parks Motor Group of Gainesville is proud to present the Scholar Athlete of the Week. Joseph Scott is the captain of the Gainesville High School varsity football team. He's Gainesville's leading tackler, and he received the 2024 All-Area Honorable Mention. Joseph is a member of his high school's track team as well, where he qualified for regionals. With a 4.6 GPA, Joseph is focused on his education as well as his athletic career. He's been on the honor roll all 4 years of high school, and he's a member of the National Honor Society. He is also a student aide. Joseph gives back to his community by volunteering at summer camps and at the Foster Family Fun Day. This All-Star is now entered for a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Congratulations to the Parks Motor Group of Gainesville's Scholar Athlete of the Week, Joseph Scott.
On behalf of Parks Motor Group of Gainesville, congratulations on all of your hard work.
Thank you so much for this honor.
The Pavlov Media halftime report rolls on here at Citizens Field. It is 28-0 Buchholz on top. And these two heads right now combined have 85 years of experience with athletics. Philip Knight, the AD at Gainesville High School. And Philip, great things going on at Gainesville right now?
We have a lot of things going on right now. We're particularly proud at our school of our we have a magnet program for the teaching academy, and so we have students who are learning to be teachers. They're writing lesson plans, sitting with teachers, learning the craft, and then teaching some lessons at our school. So we're very proud of that.
And how about athletically?
Athletically, we're doing well. We're in struggle right now. We're playing fairly well, but we just can't seem to get in the end zone. But our volleyball team's ranked 9th in the state. Swimming and diving's doing well, and we've been to the state championship in cross country 3 years in a row, so things are going really well with those sports.
If you're looking how we divide the 85 years, he's got 42, I've got 43,
right.
so
You
respect your elders.
You have me beat, absolutely.
Speaking of numbers and elders, he's not my elder, but this man has a lot of experience. It is Lanny Mathis. He is with the IBEW Local 1205, and he has a special presentation to make.
Proud to be able to present this check to you guys for your athletic program.
Well, thank you very much. This is great. We certainly appreciate it, and we appreciate all that you do for us.
Well, you know, you take the 42 and the 43, and together they equal 85, and 85 is a big number for you guys as well, is it not?
Yeah, we're actually celebrating our 85th year in Gainesville. Actually, this week, as a matter of fact, yep. So proud to be here serving the community for 85 years.
Now, if you want an 86th year, I know you need some new eyes, new ears, and new hands too, right?
Yeah, we are recruiting journeymen and apprentices. I hope some of these high school kids will come and see us. We start our apprenticeship school same time as the University of Florida starts there. It's tuition free, learn a trade, work while you earn.
And how do I get a hold of you guys?
Our apprenticeship school is 352-376-8375, or you can go to ibew1205.org.
Lanny, thanks so much for all you do.
We appreciate the opportunity.
And hopefully this will electrify the team in the second half.
There we go. That's what we need. All right.
Philip, thanks for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for watching. We'll take a break. This is the Pavlov Media Halftime Report. It is 28-0 Buchholz on top of Gainesville. You are watching Friday Night Rivals right here on My 11.
Bounds Heating and Air is proud to present the Teacher Spotlight of the Week. This week's spotlight shines on Joshua Forgione of Gainesville High School. Mr. Forgione has been teaching for 20 years, and all of them have been at GHS. He teaches economics and government. He oversees the Junior Justices and Grub Club Food Pantry at GHS. In 2020, Mr. Forgione was named the Alachua County High School Teacher of the Year. His mission in teaching is to help young people find their passion or find their skills. He says that his favorite aspect of teaching is that young people are far more sincere and authentic than many adults, and that it's never boring. Congratulations, Mr. Forgione. Teacher Spotlight is proudly brought to you by Bounds Heating and Air. Experience the highest quality of comfort. Bounds Heating and Air.
The best Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country.
And he just, are you kidding? What just happened? Flipped out of his hands, and it's a touchdown for Jaden Pierce. Oh my goodness.
Here's Knuckles. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Running under it, making the catch. What a catch by Cade Mitchell.
Holy cow for the Food City touchdown.
Bus stop of the game, Jeremiah Cruz. He had a few of those tonight. Jeremiah laying the wood.
250 yards passing. Now he wants to take a shot. Looking to hang this one up for Gardner, and he drops it to him, and Gardner makes a move at the 35. Gardner's still on his feet. Gardner's got 3 touchdowns tonight. Seeger's got 5. Polka fires. Ball is intercepted by the Rams. It's Mason Wydra with the pick. And here comes the Rams the other way on the turn. Here he goes, right side of the field. Wydra with some blockers. Wydra on the return of the interception. He's all the way down to the 10, the 5. Wydra returns it for the score. Mason Wydra.
Receiver in motion. He will roll right. Under pressure. Still on his feet. Trying to find somebody downfield. He's in trouble. He'll throw it to the back of the end zone. The receiver's wide open. Touchdown, McQueen.
Welcome back to the Pavlov Media Halftime Report. Buchholz up 28-0 here at halftime over Gainesville. Hurricanes head coach Ian Scott joins us right now. Coach, first of all, Jayshon's status, how is he right now?
We'll see how he does. I think he just had a cramp. Up there in the hamstring, that gets pretty uncomfortable. So we'll see how he does, but hopefully he's okay.
How do you assess your team's performance in the first half?
We played hard. We just, we spent that whole second quarter playing on our side of the 30 end, so that's not a good place to be. But the guys kept playing. We made some plays in the end to keep things going, and we get the ball first here and see if we can put some things together and have a good showing here in the second half.
Coach, thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you guys.
28-0 the score at the break. Third quarter with Jeff and Shannon just around the corner, right here on My 11.
All right, Randy, thank you very much. We're going to keep it here and get ready for the second half. And Shannon, obviously, I don't know if you've been in many losing locker rooms over the years, at least at this level, but certainly not at the college level. But what is Ian Scott saying to his team? I mean, he obviously likes to fight, but it just looks like they're outmatched.
Yeah, it's it's the message. No matter if it's 56-0 or if it's 20-20,
you're always telling your team, hey, the score is 0-0, right? You have the opportunity to come out in the second half. And sometimes you can't control the narrative of what happened in the first half, right? You can't hop in your DeLorean and go back in the time and talk to Doc Brown and all that good stuff. But you do have the opportunity to come out in the second half and play a new game, right? You saw in the first half that, GHS did some good stuff, right? There was a couple good things, a couple good drives. We saw some rollout passes that they were able to hit from Deshaun Stanford, and we saw Eric Welk and his playmaking ability. But you need more of that, right? And you need to have your defense, or you need to have your offense not shoot themselves in the foot, right? We saw the miscues on special teams, and we saw the penalties on offense, and it really put the defense in a bad position against a really good offense. So it's 0-0 right now. Come out and play a good half, right, and let the chips fall where they may.
So we'll see the status of Deshaun Stanford. Again, good news for me and Scott saying it looked like it's just a cramp. We'll try to give it a go. That dynamic quarterback, the senior, has done some really good things here in half number one, and they certainly need him as we start the second half. Jay Ginta ready to kick off again. That right foot not too tired yet. Many kickoffs there in that first half, and he'll get ready for another one. He's had 4 touchbacks, and he's kicked one out of bounds. This one over towards the corner again, and that's going to be out of bounds. So a mistake there again by Ginta, as that will allow GHS to get some nice starting field position at the 35.
Yeah, talk about one of the few mistakes that we've seen from Ginta tonight, right? We've seen him kicking them out there on the road out there, and let it go fishing balls out of a pond because he kicked it in, to one a couple miles away. But this is not how you. This is what you want to see if you're GHS, and more specifically, what you don't want to see if you're Coach Mark Whittemore, right? Don't get laxed, right? I know you're up 4 scores. I know we're feeling good and everything's flowing well, but you still got to see a good half of football out of your guys, right? The starters are still in, right? This clock is not running, and GHS has a football, so time to go out and make a stop at the Buchholz.
Well, it looks like Sanford is not out there at the quarterback position, so it's going to be the freshman, Calvin Comstock. So a tough situation to be in. He got some snaps there at the tail end of the first half, and now he'll have to take some significant ones here, it looks like, in the second half. He'll roll to the right, and he's got his receiver. So a nice throw on the run again. And Shannon, you mentioned that's kind of their bread and butter play right now, just getting out of there, trying to get rid of that pursuit that the D-line from Buchholz has given, and just try to throw it on the run.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that they've been able to, GHS that is, has been able to break containment that much, right? They've been able to kind of get outside, and Buchholz is not surprised, right? They know that's what they want to do. That's the only majority of their success tonight in the first half. It came from that little rollout pass. So looking to see if they're going to maybe try to contain that edge a little bit better if your Buchholz ends.
Comstock back to pass again, and he's going to have that one dropped right in the hands of Dwight Jenkins. So the freshman with some poise here in the early going, a couple of nice throws to get the half started.
Yeah, dropping some dimes. You got to feel good, and you got to help him out. He's a freshman, right? But he's able to put the ball right there. You got to catch it. That's an important part. You throw, you catch. That's the basic one-on-ones of football. And you're a senior, you can't drop it from the freshman. You got to help your brother out there.
They've got a couple of extra blockers in there trying to protect the freshman quarterback. Here comes Buchholz. Comstock will step up in the pocket, and then that thing will close pretty quickly as Amaris Bryant will bring the freshman down to the ground. No gain on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like they're sending the punt team out there. Oh, now they are. Yeah, it makes sense to send. They're going to punt this ball away, and you got to feel one way, right? The freshman comes out there, he throws out a couple of good balls, right? One's dropped, and they were making a little bit of progress right there, but once again, it's just like the little simple things that prevent them from being successful and moving this football here tonight.
So Comstock will be the punter. He's gotten one punt off tonight, but only went about 15 yards. And there's some movement there by GHS. Second time that we've seen Nariah Washington get a little antsy.
I mean, like I said, pick your poison, right? You leave a bunch of guys in to try to stop the block, stop from what happening earlier to happen again. But then again, now your second poison is like, hey, we got to kick the ball to Justin Williams. This is, and that's the part of coverage of having to keep extra blockers in that, you may not be able to cover that number 13 down there, which has the ability to take it to the house at any given time.
Buchholz has blocked 2 tonight already. Freshman will get this one off. That'll bounce right around midfield, right into the hands of Williams, who will then be dragged out of bounds at midfield. So that is where Buchholz will take over for the first time here in the second half. They have not been stopped on downs tonight and had to punt, but 3 turnovers by Buchholz in that first half, or this would be a much bigger than 28-0 lead.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, a couple of picks, and then the fumble by Justin Williams close to their goal line, and they came in the right time for GHS, right? They came in a time that they needed them the most, and not able to turn any of those turnovers into points, but have been able to prevent Buchholz from doing more damage.
Chris Johnson will start as the tailback, and he will grab another nice blocking, and Johnson gets all the way to the free safety, throws him to the ground, and then gets a few more yards, 20 altogether, and that is a phenomenal first down run.
Yeah, it's just poetry in motion. Watch this. You're going to see the power run coming around. He cuts up inside and follows his blockers, and you see, just guys downfield and just making things happen. Big number 73 right there, Daryl Godbolt, able to get up there and lead him up into that hole. That was just a beautiful run.
Whittemore was under center for that play, and it looks like he wants to do it again. Toss to Johnson this time. He'll try to get to the outside, and he'll get dragged out of bounds after a gain of about 4. Good pursuit there by Joshua McClellan.
So what does Buchholz do when they want to start moving the ball and they want to start eating away at clock? Well, they get behind their big offensive line. They get behind their run game, and it is one of the best run games in North Central Florida. It's a run game that doesn't have a lot of lost yardage plays, Jeff, and that's the best thing you can say about a running game is that, hey, you have your running back that's always falling forward, and you have your offensive line that's creating caverns.
They'll hand it to Johnson again, running behind that big offensive line, pushing, weaving, and crossing that first down marker. So a couple of first down runs here, and Buchholz has decided to just keep it on the ground, and it's another UF Health OrthoCare first down, where walk-ins are welcome 7 days a week.
This is what we saw against Eastside a couple of weeks ago when they lined up in the twin tight end formation, and they were just handing the ball off and leaning on the big uglies just to open up holes, and that's where they really dominated, and that's where they got really, really a great push, out of that front, and really where they took the game over.
Whittemore in the shotgun for the first time on this drive. He'll hand it to Johnson again. Another huge hole, trying to get to the outside, but he is dragged down once again. But a good gain of about 9 as Nehemiah Washington brings him down.
Had a good tackle in the open field. It looked like Johnson wanted to cut that outside and go up that right sideline for 6, but Washington able to kind of get his arms around his waist and drag him down. I can't tell you, like, open field tackle against Chris Johnson is pretty spectacular feat.
Johnson's been the workhorse. Already has 1 touchdown tonight. Been a platoon with Josh Menifee throughout the first half. Johnson will get it. Fighting for some yardage. He's got a first down, and it'll be 1st and goal now at the 7-yard line.
And they're still moving, right? They haven't put the ball in the air on this drive, Jeff, and they decided to come out and make a statement. And listen, this is an attitude drive, is what you like to call it. Meaning attitude is like, hey, we're through playing around, we're in a bad mood, and we're just going to kind of ram the ball down your throat. And that's exactly what they've done here on the last 5 or 6 plays.
All the way into the Call-a-Mattress red zone. Whittemore will take the shotgun snap. He'll keep it himself this time. And how about the QB putting his head down and running over a couple of guys.
I mean, look at this. I mean, everybody's getting a nice little taste of it. I mean, the attitude of the offense is saying, and I'm sure Coach Whittemore went in and said, guys, we're up 4 scores, but you guys weren't very good in that first half. There was 3 turnovers. There was a bunch of stuff that happened, and we need to get in the end zone just like they did right here.
Yeah, Whittemore, back-to-back runs, and that time he just makes his way into the end zone. Good drive there by the Bobcats. They just said, hey, we're going to get behind the big fellas, and we're going to march all the way down to the field. 50 yards in for the score, and Whittemore caps it off. A Radiant Credit Union touchdown with a 3-yard scamper.
The former offensive lineman in me says, I just love that drive. Just, you didn't put the ball in the air. You just ran, and you got behind your offensive lineman. You opened up holes, and you were digging out defensive linemen and knocking linebackers off track. I mean, just love that.
Ginta in for the extra point, and it is up and powered through. That one hit the back of Shannon's Ferrari all the way out in the parking lot.
Listen, the only way I'm getting into a Ferrari is if you get some Crisco and butter me up and get in there. But he kicked that ball. He kicked that ball a long way, didn't he? It's like he's trying to aim. He's trying to kick it further and further every time.
So Whittemore gets into the end zone, and the Bobcats now lead it 35-0. We'll take a timeout, see what GHS can do when we come back on Friday Night Rivals. Well, during the fourth quarter of the game tonight, we'll be highlighting the school bus stop of the game. Law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus. The stop arm is out, and the red lights are flashing. Buchholz yet to be stopped tonight as they punch it into the end zone once again. 35-0 lead. Alongside Shannon Snell, I am Jeff Cardozo, Randy Reinhardt down on the sidelines. Great crew once again here tonight. Been battling through some technical issues, but they have done a phenomenal job of keeping us going. There you see the Buchholz cheerleaders doing their thing. Ginta set for another kickoff. He's put 2 out of bounds, puts this one in play, and boots it a long way, halfway into the end zone, and that'll roll right through it. So GHS will take over at the 20-yard line after the touchback.
Yeah, so we're in a running clock situation now, Jeff, where, 35 points, whenever the league goes to 35 points or more, they run the clock for the High School Athletic Association rules. But this is still, an opportunity, which we talked about, for which Coach Ian Scott's talked to his guys about, saying it's 0-0, right? Right now it's 7-0 because, obviously Buell's coming out and scoring after the half. But, his guys need to get some points on the board. It would feel good for them. And, if you see by now, Buchholz is just a really good football team. I think this could be any team across Northwestern Florida that could run into this buzzsaw. But, for Coach Ian Scott, these guys need to try to turn on something on offense and try to get some success against this Buchholz defense, which has been really good all night.
Freshman will remain at quarterback, Calvin Comstock. He's got a bunch of guys up there blocking, and he'll quickly get rid of the football. Out to the right side, but nowhere to go after Keyshawn Chapman caught the football, and they'll lose 1 on the play.
And just for reference, there's some backup guys in now, and that's how good depth-wise Buchholz is. They got guys on guys that will just absolutely can run people off the field, and that's the definition of a program that just that doesn't rebuild, they just reload.
Two receivers are come to the left. Eric Welch has had a nice day for Buchholz today. He's the furthest wide to the left. Comstock will zing it out to the right, almost intercepted. There's that freshman again, Virgil Lee. He's already got a block punt, and he almost had himself an interception.
I mean, this is really, you said it earlier, Jeff, there's been some struggles on offense for Buchholz here the first couple of, the first 6 games of the season. But their defense has been dominant, right? I think that's the one part of them that is going to help them when they head into the FHSAA playoffs, is that they are a really good defense, and they have a really good offensive line and a run game. That will take you a long, long, long way.
Sanford now back in there at quarterback. It looks like he's able to run around okay. He'll try to get to the outside and flip it out that way. It's going to be intercepted, but it's going to be out of bounds. Mari Coulter with a sliding catch, but unable to keep those feet in. So good news there. At least Sanford was back in there, and he's good enough to be okay, but it's going to be 4th down and probably force another punt for the Purple Hurricane.
Yep, just really tough night for the Gainesville Purple Hurricane to get anything going offensively, right? You got obviously your own issues, which you're trying to figure out, really who you are and what you're trying to do against this football team. And it's not always easy, right? When the bullets start flying live or when the lights come on, if you will, it's just a little bit different, right? It's a little bit, what worked in practice or what you think might work against a really good defense doesn't necessarily play out because you don't really realize, how good this team can actually be.
Sanford will get the punt off. Chris Johnson back there deep. He'll come in and catch it, tackled immediately, but great starting field position here for the Bobcats as they will start at the GHS 40-yard line. We'll take a timeout, and we'll see if Whittemore is still out there or they continue to put in more of the reserves. About 3 minutes to go until the 4th quarter. You're watching Friday Night Rivals. Well, fans, are in the 4th quarter of the game tonight. We'll be selecting our IBEW Local 1205 Player of the Game. It's the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 1205, powering a brighter future.
You got a couple of candidates, right? You got, Andrew Whittemore, what he's done tonight. Of course, you got my guy Justin Williams. So you got a couple of leaders in the clubhouse there who we're thinking about here.
It looks like we're going to see somebody else at the quarterback position. Avery Norris, who has caught a couple of balls tonight, will be back there handing it off, and he'll hand it right up the gut where Ashton Norris, sophomore running back, getting some love. No love down there right now, though. Some pushing and shoving, and a flag comes in after the play.
Still getting a little chippy down there. I love that, Jeff. I mean, you never like to see somebody costing their team some yards or penalties or anything like that. But, when you're in a battle down there and these guys are still fighting, I that's the part of me, the part of the old offensive lineman in me that just loves that competitive spirit that people continue to fight after the whistle, if you will, because I've had plenty of those times.
So personal foul on Buchholz, backs it up 15 yards, and ball right on the 50-yard line again as Norris will remain there at quarterback. And that ball is on the ground. How about GHS? That time you could hear the pop all the way up here.
I mean, he got blasted. Good gracious.
Well, Buchholz able to recover the fumble.
Yeah, that was unfortunate right there. And this is what happens when you got you got another set of people that came into the game. They haven't taken too many snaps here in the first half. Got to get warmed up versus a team versus the defense that's already been out there. The guys that have been out there for most of this football game.
Norris and Norris in the backfield. And Norris will roll out to the right. That ball is caught by Johnson. Still well shy of the line to gain, though. They're still about 15 yards short. And for the first time tonight, it's going to be a punt for Buchholz.
Didn't have that in the bingo cards either. Them punting the ball away, right? They've been so good here in the first 3 quarters that this is the first time that we see their punt team.
And John James Solette is going to be back there to punt. JJ will get the opportunity. Senior to kick it away. Normally, Jay Ginta is the punter as well, but Mark Whittemore getting some guys out there in this city rivalry.
Do you think the punter for Buchholz just gets bored sitting on the bench, probably drinking Gatorade because he never has to go out there? That's got to be like the most boring position in North Central Florida on a football team. The punter for Buchholz's football team.
Certainly so. Well, they'll let the clock roll down to 0, and it finally hits double zeros, so that means the end of quarter number 3. And a bunch of 4s go up into the stands here at Buchholz tonight, where the Bobcats, even though they're the road team, lead at 35-0 on the field they normally play in here at Citizens. We'll come back and have fourth quarter action when we return on My 11's Friday Night Rivals. We start the fourth quarter alongside Shannon Snell, Jeff Cardozo here with you. How about J.J. Soleil and the punt?
Great punt, too. Look at that.
And he'll die that
Good
thing
gracious.
perfectly at the 2-yard line. He's got to get some high fives right there. And look at the special teams coach.
I mean, they coming out giving him some love. I mean, you get one punt and you do that with it? Like, come on, man. That's not fair.
Yeah, Ginta even coming over. And Mark Whittemore giving him some high fives as well. So great job by the senior. That pins GHS well deep into the hole, and they've got a long way to go to try to get on the scoreboard for the first time here tonight.
You're right. I mean, they got 98 yards of field to go to try to get some points on this board. And, you know, it's a good time to do it, right? You got a running clock. You got, you know, game is out of reach at this point in time. But, you know, this is an ideal opportunity to go in, something positive, right? You're only as good as your last play. To get something done and to get some points on this board and not walk out of here with that big old goose egg on the board.
Well, GHS doing the old tush push from the end zone just to get a couple of yards and some breathing room, and they end up getting 3 on the play, one of their better runs of the night.
Why not do that all the way down the field, right? I mean, I know the tush push doesn't get a lot of love, and a lot of people hate it, and some people love it, but you know, it's a good play. It's a play that obviously affords you to get out of bad situations, to get into good situations, and right there got into a really great situation for GHS.
So Sanford will come back in at quarterback. And now a flag as they try the same exact thing. And a legal motion will back them up half the distance of the goal.
Well, I guess double tush push is, you know, maybe one to get yourself out, but I guess, you know, right now if you're coaching this guy, you're like, hey, listen, we're trying to figure out our offense. Maybe it's not the best way to, you know, even try to drop back and try to throw the ball and get out of here. Yeah, I mean, I was in the middle of all of it as a guard, and that was the best ever, right? You could try to, you know, and there's a lot of stuff that could happen down there on the bottom of that pile, which could be fun and bad and everything else in between. But it's a way to be able to gain yardage, and, you know, sometimes the lowest man wins, as coaches always said, and I think that's another way of just proving that point.
Buchholz is going to get a safety, and how about the freshman once again? Another big impact play by Virgil Lee III. He has blocked a punt, and now he gets in there for the safety, and it's 37-0.
How about Virgil Lee, man? This kid has been awesome tonight. I mean, you know, you talk about a freshman, and, you know, this is what we talk about. This is going to be the next great linebacker for Buchholz, right? We saw one guy last year that was unbelievable, now playing at the university, or a couple years ago playing at the University of Florida, in Miles Graham. Now we see Virgil Lee able to come around the edge and that closing speed, Jeff. That is just, as a linebacker, a bigger guy, that's fun.
We'll take another timeout as Buchholz will get the ball once again when we come back on Friday Night Rivals.
This is the school bus stop of the game. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
Is out and the red lights are flashing. Not stopping or trying to beat the stop arm puts lives at risk, result in large fines, points on your license, and license suspension. And Shannon, as we were talking about number 41, he did something earlier again.
Virgil Lee, once again, the second big play of the game, one that comes after that, but it was his first big one, and I think he's going to get some more playing time, Jeff. I think so, honestly.
So that, your school bus stop of the game. GHS forced to kick it off from their 20-yard line. And now the lefty kicker, Morris Guardado, will do the honors.
Yeah, listen, it's not the most ideal situation if you're GHS, right? You had to figure out something to do.
And now you kick it to Justin Williams.
Oh, my gosh, why?
Trying to make it through the line, and good stop there. Return of about 15 yards. And Buchholz will take over. They've had tremendous starting field position tonight.
They really have. I mean, they've been deep. They've been at midfield or better, and and that's not great if you're in any football game, right? Despite against, not against Buchholz, but just any football team. That's not where you want to be, right? It's always a game of field position and a game of inches. And in this particular case, Buchholz hasn't had to do a whole lot. They haven't had to drive the entire length of the field except for once or twice. So, good night for them having to do that. But if you're GHS, you got to be able to figure out a way to at least start flipping the field on offense.
Avery Norris back in there at quarterback. One completion so far tonight. He'll hand it off to the other Norris, and he'll stop quickly. Good pursuit on that defensive line, and big number Trayvon Richardson in there for the stop, the sophomore.
And you got to give credit to, we talked about, a lot of the playmakers on Buchholz's offense tonight. Let's give credit to the defense, right? Dominating and doing it in a fashion to where they didn't make a whole lot of mistakes, Jeff. I mean, they had a couple of open plays and some scramble drills and, that kind of stuff, and that stuff gets cleaned up because that happens in a football game, but for the most part, played great assignment football and really made the stops when they needed to.
Norris flips it out to his tight end, and another nice tackle there by GHS, and that is Devarian Howard coming up from his defensive back spot.
Yeah, really nice tackle. Little guy on the big guy. Big guy's got to be able to run that over. He's got to be able to get up there and get those yards. Nice tackle right there, get him on the ground.
Andrew DeFusco with his second catch of the night. But that's going to make it 3rd and 9. Norris will take the snap. He'll hand it off to Norris, and weaving through traffic, almost enough for a first down. It'll be a couple of yards short on a good hard run by Ashton Norris.
Yeah, Ashton Norris, nice run up the middle, and they found a lot of good moves, and they found a lot of good holes up the middle throughout that offensive line. Look like they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Buchholz lines up quickly. Ashton Norris gets it, and he will keep it. Trying to get around the left side, he does, and makes his way out of bounds. And we're going to get a flag for some extracurricular activity.
I mean, I don't think that would have been called.
That was nothing bad.
That was ticky-tacky. I mean, the ref could pick that flag up. I don't know really. I mean, unless you call it on both players, I don't think that was necessary.
Well, we're going to get a timeout for a water break with about 5.5 minutes to go until the end of this one tonight, where Buchholz here at Citizens Field leads at 37-0. Back with the rest of the game when we come back here on My 11. Trusted hometown metal roofing and metal building supplier right here on Friday Night Rivals. And right there, Ashton Norris running hard right through that GHS defensive line, and he's inside the 5-yard line, and that's another UF Health Ortho Care first down, where walk-ins are welcome 7 days a week.
Yeah, just continuing to run right between the big guards up the middle. Hasn't stopped all night. Just a really fantastic job by that offensive line. Once again, of really leading this charge.
They'll give it to Norris again. He'll get a couple. 2 yards short of the end zone with the clock remaining to run here, under 5 minutes to go.
So now you go into takeaway mode, Jeff. I mean, takeaway mode meaning what does each team take away from this? If you're Buchholz, did you play perfect? You played a really good game. I think there were some obvious areas that they can address. when it comes to the scramble drills and, a couple things, especially the turnovers, right? You can't have those against really, really, really powerful teams and teams that can match you offensively. But, if you're GHS, you're going to have to figure out your offense. It's going to have to be something different.
Well, Ashton Norris finds his way into the end zone, and it's the third time tonight we've seen a Buchholz tailback get into the end zone really untouched. That offensive line has been really, really good, and even with some of the backups in there tonight. So Ashton Norris into the end zone, and Buchholz adds to their lead.
I mean, Jeff, you or I can go out there and run for a $125 behind this offensive line. They're pretty good, I know offensive line play, just a little bit, right? But I think for the most part, those guys have been, when we've seen them earlier in the year, we've seen them, year over year. I mean, these guys are they're really well cohesive unit, and it's fun to watch them block for their tailbacks.
Wayne Dunning in there to kick the extra point. And that is up and through 44-0 here tonight. And here's a replay of that touchdown where nobody touched Norris.
No, he could have literally walked through that hole and just walked into the end zone, and just a fantastic job by the offensive line.
There you see the sophomore.
Yeah, getting in that work here in the fourth quarter. And you're right, Jeff. I haven't been on the receiving end of too many games like this, if ever, right? So, I mean, I've never been in that locker room afterwards. I've never been in that locker room at halftime and, what your message is. And this is the true testament of a coach, or the test of a coach, is that what happens on Monday come the Monday after something like this, or the message after the game to your team. How do you keep them all still involved and keep them all still bought in? And that's going to be the biggest thing for Coach Ian Scott, which I think he's fully capable of doing.
Rhett Russo gets kickoff duties. He'll send it down to the 15-yard line. And GHS will get one more crack at it. About 2 minutes to go as that clock continues to run. So Buchholz continues to dominate in this city rivalry. And from the last time we saw Buchholz, about 3 weeks ago, it's been a significant difference from the offense. Andrew Whittemore really good again tonight. They got Justin Williams more involved, where against Eastside basically just took Williams out of the game. And you see how special this offense could be, again, even without Keel McGriff, who was expected to do some great things this senior season as well.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing with Keel. I mean, I think they become almost unstoppable. But you see how good this team is, even with one of their superstars gone and not being able to play this season. I mean, there's still a team that should compete for another Final Four bid and hopefully a state title run.
And Buchholz is really on a revenge tour. I mean, you look at the losses that they had last year. They've already avenged those losses this year with 3 big victories and taking care of business here again tonight. Sanford running around like he's been doing all night, just chucks one up, and that's going to bounce off the shoulder pads of Amari Coulter. He tried to come in and get it. And Coulter upset with himself. That's one of those where your eyes light up, they get all big, and you're thinking, I'm going to get one, and you just can't haul it in.
I mean, yes, Sanford just having a rough night. I mean, running around, and he's not even able to make it over to the sideline because he's just been able to take blow after blow after blow here.
Yeah, he's been battling for sure. And it looks like the clock's going to wind down, so this thing is going to be finished off tonight. 3, 2, 1, and now another win for Buchholz. 44-0 here tonight as this Buchholz defense gets a shutout. Offense does its thing as well. GHS showed some fight, got several turnovers in that first half, but when it was all said and done, Buchholz just too strong once again.
Yeah, too strong, too good. Just the same thing we expect out of them. That's exactly what they put forward tonight, Jeff.
There you see a very happy Mark Whittemore, and Randy will talk to him and our player of the game in just a few minutes. And that player of the game is some guy named Justin Williams. You were hyping up before the game, Shannon, and he certainly lived up to it.
Yeah, he did. I mean, just unbelievable. You talk about the best play on the field. It's not really hard to see, right? If you have eyes and you have ears, and you can see how talented this young man is and how fun it is to watch him. Just an unbelievable talent, and wherever he goes, committed to the University of Florida, but wherever he goes and whatever he does, he's just I just love the player he is and what he's able to bring to the offense.
So congrats to Justin Williams, tonight's IBEW Local 1205 Player of the Game. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Randy will have some hardware to give out, and then we will wrap it up from Citizens Field here tonight on My 11. We welcome you back, and we will be back next week in this same spot as South Sumter High. A very good team comes in, and they will battle this Buchholz bunch, Shannon, so that should be a really fun one.
It is a barn burner. South Sumter lost to one team. They lost to Bradford, which is going to be a state contender, so that should be a barn. That's going to be a big test for Buchholz.
Well, a big guy down there with a whole bunch of other guys. Our own Randy Reinhardt has some hardware to give away.
Already the chance for lucky number 13 underway. Coach Whittemore, talk about the team's performance now. The more things change, the more they stay the same. The margin of victory last year was 45. This year it's 44, the big win over Nice last week. And now for the 8th year in a row, you are city champs.
Well, hey, we just appreciate the fact that we get a chance to come out here and compete against our crosstown rivals. It doesn't get more fun than this in high school football. So we are incredibly pleased to be the winners of this City Championship 2025.
Justin Williams, just in time. Nearly 40 touchdowns now in the last 3 years. Talk about your team's performance tonight. How good do you feel right now?
Yes, sir. We came in this game. We knew what we were going to do. We knew we were going to put it on them. We scored 44 points, more than last year. And, yeah, we gave it to them.
Is there a head in there? I know it swells at times. Take off the helmet for a second. Come on. Coach, congratulations. How sweet is this? Victory number 94 for this guy here.
It's so sweet, and with these kids that I'm around, the relationships we have, it couldn't be sweeter.
And with that being said, we have the magical orb. I present to you and everybody that's a Bobcat, the championship trophy.
Oh my God, did they hurt Randy, Jeff?
Randy must feel like that FSU wide receiver when the Virginia guys rushed the field last week.
Oh my goodness!
As we were signing off, great job by Randy once again. Justin Williams showing off the hairdo, looking good under that helmet.
Yeah, obviously, and looking good on the football field too. What he did tonight was unbelievable again. And as for this entire Bobcats football team, that defense was fantastic. We saw Chris Johnson do his thing. We've seen so much great. Andrew Whittemore, what he's done tonight, man. This team is fun to watch, and boy, they got a good one next week. So I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, a lot of growth, and they will continue to try to stay with to get ready for the playoffs down the road. Well, Shannon described himself when he was saying all that stuff. He was great as usual again tonight. So was Dustin, our engineer, producer, doing everything back in network control, keeping us active during all this stuff that was happening tonight. And we appreciate everybody for tuning in, all of our great sponsors, and of course, all the participating administrators for their support. Buchholz High School and our host tonight, Gainesville High School. There you see Andrew Whittemore whipping one down the field. One of the interceptions, but it was a great night as Whittemore gets into the end zone there, and we get out of here. For Shannon Snell and Randy Reinhardt and all of our great crew, I am Jeff Cardozo. We'll talk to you next week from the same spot here on My 11.
Thank you to our valued sponsor partners who make this telecast of Friday Night Rivals possible. IBEW Local Union 1205, Radiant Credit Union, and Parks Motor Group. Also, thank you to our great sponsor supporters for their contributions. Pavlov Media, GFL Environmental, UF Health OrthoCare, Sonny's Barbecue, Bounds Heating and Air, Skyfrog Tree Service, Mission Metals Manufacturing, Call a Mattress Superstore, and Tucker Chiropractic. And a special thanks to tonight's participating high schools for their continued support.